I can fix it.
You can't fix this car, Macaulay.
I can fix it.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Diablo 4. My level 51 werewolf druid is now in world tier 3. As I've been playing more and more with the community and running dungeons, I'm actually having quite a bit of fun with D4. Now my first impressions video for this game, I did not say it was bad. I did not say it's terrific. I didn't say it was average. I simply said D4 feels like a good game. And I still feel like it is in that good, solid territory. Now, I put a new poll on my YouTube channel, okay, on the screen. 1 day ago, currently has 2,200 votes. D4 is terrible, average at best, solid, amazing game of the year. And when you actually look at this poll, I'm actually a little surprised with the results. Now, the reason why I'm surprised with the results is because my community, a lot of them are hardcore Last Epoch. I mean, really, Action RPG, we play all the games, but obviously my main game is Last Epoch. 79% of people on this poll in 1 day stated D4 is solid, amazing, or game of the year. That's a pretty good results from the community. They like D4. Now, for this video, in my time playing, I play Chaos Bane, Inquisitor, Torchlight 1, 2, 3, Infinite, Undecember, Last Epoch, PoE, Diablo 1, 2, 3, 4. I even freaking played Immortal for a little bit. Point being, I cover the entire genre. If D4, if Blizzard made these 5 changes, I would up my rating from a good to great on this game. And I tried to pick 5 things with the resources and talent at Blizzard they can do like that. Real easy fixes. Now there's, I've got lots of gripes and things I think they should change, but these are 5 very quick, easy fixes to make this game so much better. Let's do it. Number 5, a loot filter. This has become a staple in action RPGs. And actually most of the stuff on this list you are very familiar with. Now, what's crazy about Diablo 4 is not only is there no loot filter, which means all the loot drops on the ground, you also don't get a preview window. Now, in other action RPGs, if I put my mouse over this Cruel Titan Sacred weapon, it'll show me the tooltip for the item, which means the only way I can tell if this is a good item for my build is run over, click on it, hit I, and then go and look if the item is actually good. So much wasted time, so many wasted steps. Please give us a loot filter. Number 4, you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to be on this list, a map overlay. Now, for the past decade, any isometric action RPG I play, when I hit tab, it pulls up my map overlay. For D4, it pulls up this grand, huge world map, which, by the way, I just want to say that I really like their pin system. Anytime I play this game, I use it, and when I play other action RPGs, I wish I had it. And I feel like this is one of those rare instances where Blizzard Entertainment could go from 0 to hero. More options are always better. The people that don't want a map overlay, they can literally just toggle it off, and the people that do, like myself, can turn it on. And when I talk about going from 0 to hero, if they added a map overlay to D4, they would go from, kind of a joke, I can't believe this game doesn't have it, to the best navigational system of any action RPG out there. The pin system combined with the map overlay would be genre defining. Number 3, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this one, I don't care. Towns. All right, there is something about towns in D4 that drives me bananas. In towns, you will notice lots of different NPCs, but there is something that is not available in a town, and that is your stash. If it were up to me, every single town would have a blacksmith to break down my stuff and repair me, and my stash where I can organize and put away loot and grab stuff if I need it. You could take all the other NPCs and all the other functions and put them in cities. I'd be totally cool with that. but my stash should be available in these towns. And it sounds like, oh, Aaron, you're just griping. No, I'm in dungeons, I'm running side quests, I'm running around collecting all these freaking statues, and I come across a town, and then I gotta teleport to a main city, and then I gotta run halfway across the city, and then I gotta run up the steps to find my stash in a little house with a bunch of other people to put my stuff away. Really stupid. I absolutely hate it. Should be an easy fix. Number 2, speaking of being in a little room next to your stash, the stash needs to be completely revamped. Now, if Diablo 4 came out 10 years ago, I'd say, okay, this is fine. But the fact that this is likely one of the most expensive games ever made with Blizzard's personnel and team, this is absolutely terrible. Not only is it laughable, you can only have 4 tabs, there's also no search feature. So all of this needs to be fixed, and I really do think they will fix it. On top of that, you know it's coming. As far as the gems, you got equipment, consumables, quests, and aspects. They definitely need a gems tab, so all the gems just go in there. And in the future, if we have runes or rune words, things we're going to be focusing on, all of that can just go into that same tab. Number 2, fix the stash. Now, before we get into number 1, I just want to reiterate something. This list was created based upon realistic change that could happen. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I've got a huge list from the community on like skill trees and Paragon boards. And I know a lot of this stuff they're probably not going to do, or it's going to take years. This list is around realistic change they could make immediately with the size of their team and resources to make the game feel so much better. A stash tab upgrade, being able to access your stash in towns, having a loot filter, and having a map overlay are realistic things that would make the game feel so much better. And hey, if you don't want the map overlay, if you don't want the loot filter, you could toggle it off or never toggle it on. So it's never going to hurt the player that does not care. Okay, I just want to reiterate that. There's a lot to the game I wish I could change, but this is a realistic list of change. Now, my number 1 isn't as realistic, okay? I know this is something that I hope that they change or at least go back and look into. Now, right now they are in the balancing phase of the game as we ramp up for season 1 at the end of July. What I think they need to do is like a blanket, everyone would be like, Aaron, you're nuts, cooldown reduction. Cooldowns in this game are absolutely terrible. And I know later on you could manage these with getting affixes that are actually for cooldown, and there's certain things you can do to manage cooldowns. But for me, just as a small example, my blood howl's 15 seconds, my rabies is 12 seconds, my creeper is 20 seconds, my lacerate is 45 seconds, and then I've got to use generator to be able to do 2 hits of shred. And I know it gets better later on, but in the game, you get this sense of feeling all powerful. And then you have 4 skills almost always simultaneously on cooldown. I can only speak for Necro and Druid because those are the 2 classes I have played. And then then you're just using your generator ability, which just feels horrible. So you get this like, I feel super powerful to now I feel like crap every single time you go into combat and engage enemies. And I feel like the cooldowns are way too high. And I know if they cut cooldowns in half, obviously that would change the entire balance of the game and it would be back to the drawing board. But I do think they need to look at this. Maybe add in every single item could get a cooldown affix, maybe the lot easier ways to get cooldown reduction, put it on gear, put it on the Paragon board, put it inside of the skill trees. But that is my number 1, is the actual combat feel of the game. Using your generator all the time is just the worst feeling. I have a hard time to believe that anybody actually likes using their generator skill. And I'm sure there's some outliers out there, but that is my list. Loot filter, map overlay, stash tabs available in towns, updated stash tab, and cut cooldowns in half. Maybe not in half, but just update cooldowns so they don't feel so punishing and terrible, making you use your generator skill. That's my 5 things that I wish were changed. I want to know your opinion. Do you think, Aaron, you're absolutely nuts? Do you think they're never going to do any of that and none of it is needed? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I deserve it. If I don't deserve it, I'm gonna work harder for you. As number 2, check out the Patreon. Thank you to the first 88 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. I get asked all the time, Aaron, what's the best way to support? I need all the likes, shares, comments, and subs on YouTube. All of that truly helps the channel, but if you want to take it one step further, Patreon is the best way. First link in the description. That's all I've got. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.